who like boys, who be girls, who do boys like their girls, who do girls like their boys. Always should be someone you really love. Girls who are boys, who like boys, who be girls, who do boys like their girls, who do girls like their boys. Always should be someone.
So the question is, what would you advise your teachers to do to help you to learn and make learning more enjoyable?
Well, earlier on I made a comment about the general monotony of some lessons, and despite that I think that some lessons could do with a routine, knowing when you're getting homework, knowing what you're going to be doing over the next few lessons, so there aren't a surprise. I think that would help me work personally, and it probably would help others.
I think also if people are naughty in lessons and the teacher actually brings one pupil out to the front and actually gives them a good telling off, and the other students will actually know consequences of if they do that, then they know what's going to happen. So it would actually help other people to know not to be naughty.
Yeah, and with like the lessons, when you walk in, sometimes you don't know what you're doing, like in the lessons, like ahead. So I think it should be good if you have like an objective on the board already in your title and like a good structure to the lesson with like lesson plans and stuff like that.
Some lessons as well. I'm a kinesthetic learner, which means that I like doing games and active learning, and I'd appreciate it like if in lessons, instead of just doing textbook work, was to say either use the IT suite or go on the field and do like games, or even if it's in English, just like hangman or something, which make it more of a practical and a teamwork game than just individual.
Simulations of things, I enjoy doing that. It's like you get a chance to get a feel of what it's actually like to do that sort of thing.
Role play can be good as well, because in English, if say you're doing Shakespeare or something, then you could go into groups and like discuss like a plot or something, and then you could take it like as a class and then do like a presentation of your role play.
Yeah.
And then
I think class discussions are good because other pupils can express their views and what they think. So teachers actually know, well, what do they like, what they don't like, so the teachers can improve on the lessons and what they think.
Another thing I like is when you've got a choice of when you've got a set topic, but you get to choose where you start on the topic. Like let's say in history, on World War II, you could do Pearl Harbor or D-Day, and you have to choose which one you do. And I think that's quite a good idea, because it means that if the children will get what they want, and it means that they'll work hard and they'll have a positive attitude towards the lesson.
The only disadvantage on that is though, if everyone don't want the same thing, then it can cause arguments, and the teacher will just set work for the lessons, and then you won't be able to do anything good, and it'll just be like boring, and everyone will get worked up on that. So.
And could do like sometimes in like some lessons, we could do a bit of field work, like so it like makes it more active and more hands-on.
Yeah, that's another thing. Practical work's better as well, because instead of actually looking at a thing and studying that all day long, you can actually do something practical and it'll actually make you learn rather than looking at it. So you had the experience of doing it instead of looking at it.
So and sometimes the starter, so you could tell by either the objective or the starter what is going to happen in the lesson, so you can prepare kind of.
Okay.
Well, I think a routine is necessary, because it just like helps you know what you're going to do, and it means you're totally ready and set to do the lesson things. So I just think that helps, and it gets you on track and just sets the lesson off.
I think if you know what you're doing, it kind of like sets you off for the lesson, because you actually know what you're doing, and you can just focus on that one thing without worrying about what you're going to do and things like that.
Excellent.
It's good when you know what you do in the next lesson as well, because then if you say in history we're doing World War II, then you've got a book about it or something, and you can bring that in, and then you've got even more information.
You actually know you're prepared for the lesson.
Yeah.
Okay. What makes a boring, dull lesson?
If you have to like from start to finish in the lesson all the time, all writing.
I think if you're doing it start to finish the whole lesson, you don't really end the lesson well, because you just another boring lesson, you know, you're like. But if you actually do an exciting quiz or a game at the end, you actually know that the lesson's going to be quite good the next lesson, because you know that you're going to do that again.
Good.
I've like been interrupted every 2 or 3 minutes because people won't stop talking and can't get anything done.
Goes past.
Well, they have, well really sometimes they have objectives, and then obviously you can use them, and then some have a high success criteria, which means that they give you like tips, and then they can use that, and then we can get high levels by using the tips and putting it into our work.
So you like to know what it is
Yeah.
that's going to help you learn. Okay. What else do you like?
I think class discussions are quite good because it gets you thinking if you're interested in the topic, because it will just get you using your brain instead of just sitting around and let others do the talking. So it gets everyone involved, and it gets everyone thinking, and it gets everyone just thinking about the work. So it's quite a good thing to do in lessons.
Okay.
And on the worksheets, they have like, you sometimes have the crosswords with the questions. So like you have the research inside the crosswords, so you actually learn more.
Advice and discussions are good as well, because say if you, a piece of work isn't as good as your full potential, then you can actually get advice from a teacher and say, well, what can make that better, and then you can just like build and improve on the actual subject that you're doing, so you actually know that it's going to be good.
Like little games to like get you motivated, but most of the time you just like make you stand there until the bell goes, and then you just go.
I think going back to what we said a bit earlier, where if you just start to finish all the time, you're just going to be bored. But say when we actually do games, it gets your brain going, and like you said, it gets you motivated.
One thing I think is important is that when at the end of the lesson, some teachers do this thing where you have to put a word that you've learned that lesson into a sentence and explain like what it is and what it means, and things related to it. So I think that's quite important, actually knowing the meaning of the words and things like that. It helps you to learn them and to understand their meaning. So just like knowing the word and know what it means.
I think what James just said there, you know, right, say if you've learned a particular word that you've been studying on in the lesson, say like a teacher asks you what it is, and you just say, oh, it's, you know, like Jesus. You actually have to explain what it is to actually know the proof of the word.
A summary at the end. So even if that's just asking what we've learnt today that we didn't know before, or just saying what we enjoyed about the lesson, or could be anything really, just having something to sum up the lesson, so we can remember what we've learnt and what we're going to learn the next lesson.
Yeah, I think a good plenary is one that involves everyone, so it isn't just one person, it's everyone involved in it, because that gets everyone thinking, and it just involves everyone, so it's more interesting for an individual.
In addition to that, I think, say if one person's just talking, the rest of the people are just sitting there and they're doing nothing, but if everyone gets involved, then it's not just the one person speaking.
Sometimes as well, at the end of a lesson, some teachers say, let's have a quiz or something, but just to keep that calm attitude, they tell you to put your hands up for the answers, and that certain pupils just shout out the answers, and it wrecks the whole lesson then, and then people just don't want to really turn up to lessons, some people do.
I think all
Girls who are boys, who like boys, to be girls who do boys like